guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at predictions and advice for May 2022. So we have 3 different piles for you to choose from today. Starting with pile 1, we have this Petrified wood heart and the oracle cards, and then for pile 2 we have this blue Chalcedony butterfly on top of another stack of oracle cards, and then finally for pile 3 we have this amethyst rose on top of another stack of oracle cards. So once you have picked your pile or piles, or if you need time to pick your piles, you can pause the video, do whatever you need to. I know some people even ask like Siri for a pile number if they can't pick it themselves. But once you picked your pile or piles, you can scroll down to the description box or the comments section where I will have the timestamps listed below for each pile. And then once you have found your pile, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Petrified wood heart, this is going to be your reading on predictions for the month of May 2022. So let's go ahead and get into it. I did also want to mention we're doing charms today, so shout out to my people that have been asking for that because they are back. So to start, we have Goddess Gaia. We have Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius. We have the last chapter, Write Your Own Story, Closure, Resolution, Forgiveness. We also have Root in reverse. I'm not even going to try to say that because I know I'm going to say it wrong. So Root in reverse. And finally, we have I Am Perceptive. And we have 2 of these cards. We have Grapefruit and the theme of nourishment, with the trigger statement being it is all my fault, and the true statement being I see what I truly need. And it says your energetic body needs nourishment, so begin to discern physical hunger from spiritual hunger. Cherish your body in the way it supports you. And finally, we have Cassia with the theme of confidence, and the trigger statement being I can't do that, and the true statement being I am a light. Step forward and be the bright light that you are. Serve your purpose to the world by sharing your amazing gifts. So this is a really great energy to have, especially if you're on like the precipice of major changes in your physical life, or you're ready for something different. You're ready for a different way of looking at the world. I feel like for some of you, there could be a major change in your life, like graduation or moving or something big like that. Congratulations, by the way, to all the people graduating, or all the people starting a new life, or if you got a promotion or you're doing something different. Congrats to making moves and making changes. But for some of you, I feel like not much may be changing in your physical world, but a hell of a lot is changing in terms of how you respond to your physical world. With the last chapter being here, I feel like there are things you're finally getting ready to let go of. And I don't necessarily know if this has to do with people. For some of you, it could, but I think that this is more so letting go of habits and patterns that you picked up in your upbringing to feel safe. I feel like you're letting go of a lot of preconceived notions about yourself, and one of the biggest things I see shifting is how you talk about yourself, how you respond to your own thoughts, and how you present yourself in the world. The fact that we have Petrified wood being the stone that you picked, Root in reverse, and Goddess Gaia, I feel like this is a really awesome time, especially this month, for you to reconnect with nature and reconnect with the fact that you are a soul having a physical experience. I feel like you're going to be more zoomed out this month, in the sense that you're going to be looking at all aspects of you. You're not going to be so tuned into your experience that like you're only stuck in your mental body, or you're only stuck in your emotions. I feel like you're going to be more zoomed out in a way where you're looking at how your physical how your physical body responds to things, how your mental body responds to things, how your emotional body responds to things. And I think that gears are going to start turning, and you're going to kind of be like, oh, okay, I see why I have the need for this habit. It stems from here, and comes from a lack of nourishment or a fear of abandonment, whatever it may be. It's kind of almost like you're recognizing yourself as a computer and looking at the programs that your computer is running. And like, for example, one program that may be running is like negative self-talk, and we want to delete that shit. We want to put that shit in the bin and get rid of it permanently. And I wish it was that easy, but I feel like you're going to be paying attention to when you're not being kind to yourself, paying attention to when your inner dialogue is not matching the external reality that you're trying to manifest or that you want. I definitely feel like this is a month where you're recognizing that the universe truly does have your back. There may have been events in this month of April or the previous month of April or just in the recent months where things were happening outside of your control that you didn't really understand, and you may have blamed yourself or been really hard on yourself. And I think Spirit is actually coming through to say, no, this was not something that you were meant to like shame yourself about or be upset about. These were all things happening outside of your control for your highest good, because I think you really are letting go of a lot of unnecessary perceptions of yourself and others, perceptions of your role in the world. But I also think that the challenge this month is going to be feeling grounded, because I think while you're having this kind of honestly like expansive spiritual experience where you're really dissecting the various parts of you and seeing how they all operate in the world, there's going to be a need to get back to basics and ground yourself, because it can be kind of overwhelming to look at yourself in such a broad way. It's like you're zooming out of your ego, you're zooming out of all the parts of yourself. And while that can be very liberating and freeing, it can be hard to come back down to earth and like do dishes and shit. So I think that Spirit is saying that it's important to recognize the fact that you're still a part of this whole system, world, reality that you're engaging with and perceiving on a very broad scale right now. But it's important to zoom back in and not get so lost in the big picture and big ideas that you're forgetting to attend to the more minor things. But I think one of the really awesome things that's happening this month is that you're letting go of a lot of fears about how other people perceive you and a lot of fears about people taking you the wrong way. I think that you're really coming into yourself in a way that you're more confident. And I feel like there's this energy to you where you're going to start recognizing projections that people have put onto you that were never meant to belong to you in the first place. Like maybe there's a comment from like years ago that somebody said to you or somebody accused you of, and it wasn't true, and maybe it still triggers you to this day. I feel like you're gonna finally be seeing the truth of stuff like that and recognizing that it was never a reflection of you, but the fact that it triggered something within you gave you the opportunity to see a part of yourself that maybe you wouldn't have seen otherwise, and either heal that or come to terms with your understanding of it. I also feel like you're just going to be going easier on yourself this month. And I think that this is a time for you to recognize your role in this world in the grand scheme of things. I feel like this is a month where no matter what you're doing, there's just kind of two parts of you. There's the part of you that's like there in the moment doing the action or whatever it may be. And then there's kind of the other part of you that's perceiving everything that's going on. So I guess the best way I can describe this is like people on the outside of you would be looking at you and thinking like, oh, the lights are on, but nobody's home, which is not the case. Actually, there's like multiple people home. It's like you and your higher self and like your ego and everything. Like you're just working with yourself while engaging with life. So there's kind of two yous existing in the world, and you're kind of having to learn to balance those, or at the very least not learn to balance those, or just deal with balancing them. I mean, I guess that's how you learn by doing. And I think that this is going to be an interesting time for you where you kind of wonder how much of your experience should you communicate to others. And also, you may be reading other people's energy without realizing it. So if you pick up on something that doesn't seem like yours, you may find that you're picking up on the energy of someone around you. But I feel like the universe is trying to bring you confidence this month to recognize that you can let go of the preconceived notions you have of yourself. You can let go of these old identities and shed these parts of yourself, because the universe is always going to provide for you. And the universe loves the most natural you that you could possibly be. And even if people in your life don't, fuck them. They really don't matter. The universe is here providing for you, and the universe will continue to support you and them in their own journeys. The universe is neutral. It supports everyone. But I feel like there are rewards to be had for following this authentic path. And I feel like there are going to be opportunities this month where you are faced with past energies or past experiences that maybe you are more aligned with, where you're recognizing now that they don't nourish you. They don't nourish your soul in the way they once did. So this part about physical hunger versus spiritual hunger, this month you may be turning your back on certain activities or people that you did certain activities with that maybe satisfied your spirit at the time or distracted you from your own inner stuff that you may have not wanted to look at. And I think you may be realizing this month that this stuff is kind of distracting you from the problem, or just distracting you from the fact that there is a deeper need for spirit, or a deeper need for nourishment from the universe and from spirit. And I think you're going to be recognizing through what sources you're not getting that from. And I think you're going to be trying new things, like maybe walking in nature more, or maybe trying to meditate more, or journal, or whatever it may be for you. I feel like you're really going to try to connect with the world in different ways than you have in the past. And you're going to recognize how what you have been doing previously is not supporting the person that you're becoming. And I think you're going to recognize that you're actually capable of doing a lot more and being so much more than you thought originally. This is a really beautiful energy of just recognizing that you're doing just fine on your journey, that you don't need to pressure yourself so much, and that in fact you're doing a lot more than you think you are. And there's a lot of value to be gained from this time period where it may seem like not much is happening in the physical, but a lot is happening in your internal reality, and it's really good. With this full moon and Aquarius card being here, I feel like you're just releasing a lot of worry and a lot of fear around how people perceive you and how people will perceive this new version of you. I feel like the more you recognize that you're safe to be yourself, the more confident you'll feel being yourself no matter what the external response is. And I think that's one thing that you're going to be working on this month. So let's go ahead and dig a bit deeper now. I want to look at a few different things you will experience this month, because the oracle cards seem to be talking a lot about your internal experience. I said that right. So I am shuffling these like a weenie. Okay, circle cards are not the easiest to shuffle, so give me a break. And I'm not taking reversals, so if it comes up reversed, I'm turning it upright. So let's see, Spirit, I would like to know a blessing that pile 1 will be experiencing this month. Okay, we have 2 cards. What is a challenge they will be experiencing this month? What do they need to be aware of that will be in their external surroundings? What external energies will they be dealing with? We have that. And then finally, Spirit, what guidance and signs do you have for them for this upcoming month? Okay, let me just get some oracle cards to clarify. This is a circle month. We're using circle decks. Love it. Okay, Spirit, what is a blessing that pile 1 will be experiencing this month? Is a challenge. Cards are going crazy. Okay, what does pile 1 need to be aware of in terms of their external surroundings this month, external energies? And then finally, what guidance and signs do you have for them, Spirit? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with your blessings. So to start, we have the Dawn of Rings. I believe this is the Page of Pentacles. We have diligence and reflection. We have the Three of Wands, development, opportunity. And finally, we have if the shoe fits. Okay, this is interesting. I like this a lot, actually. Let me just fix this. Okay. So, like I said already, there's gonna be a lot of just small moments that lead to big understanding in the near future. With the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Wands being here, I feel like one, if you're looking for new opportunities in terms of like school, work, whatever, I think that Spirit is saying that you have multiple different options, and it's more so about like what you truly see yourself doing and what you think you will align with, because I think that there are multiple paths you could take, and none of them are the wrong or bad choice. They're just different choices, and you're able to pick whatever feels most right for you or feels most aligned with you. But I also think this has to do with people and the groups that you're around. People are going to be showing their true colors this month, so be very aware of that. If someone tells you who they are, believe them. If someone is running their mouth about you or saying negative things about you, pay attention to who's saying it, because I think that you're going to, like I said earlier, recognize how often people are really trying to project their own insecurities onto you, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, so they must have this XYZ insecurity because I don't deal with that, and like that's clearly on them. It's just gonna be this energy where you're fully recognizing how much so many things around you are not only not worth your time, but not even accurate or worth the stress or worry. I also feel like for some of you, well, not for some of you, this is for all of you, you get the opportunity to show the world who you are this month. And so I think that's why it's very important to think about how you're going to present yourself and talk about yourself, because Spirit's basically saying whatever you present yourself as is how you will be perceived. So if you want to be perceived as confident, be confident. If you want to be perceived as shy, be shy. I guess Spirit is saying a lot about what you speak about, you will bring about. So you could be very potent this month spiritually, where you could just be manifesting the things you want into existence. But I also think that if you've been working towards an opportunity, say like an interview or what is it? An opportunity to like, what's the word? Sorry, it's hard. It sucks when I'm channeling and I can't. What is the word, Spirit? Homegirl psychic, but she can't remember words. What is it? Showcase? If you have the opportunity to showcase your abilities or showcase what you do or what you create, you might get the opportunity to do that. Or if you're in the process of developing something like philanthropic or for like a business or something that you're trying to start, I see that you're going to be tweaking a lot of things, improving a lot of things, and creating opportunities to showcase whatever this creation is or whatever you may be doing. But I think the biggest thing with if the shoe fits, Spirit's really telling you that you have the opportunity to put your best foot forward this month. You have the opportunity to show people who you are rather than allow them to come up with their own judgments, which I mean, people do anyway. But I think that Spirit is saying that you're entering this shift where you have the opportunity to be who you want. Maybe you're going to be around less people that have known you for a long time. Maybe you're meeting lots of new people, or you're starting fresh in some way. But Spirit is really saying you have the opportunity to be a Barbie girl in the sense that you can be who you want to be. And you get to determine what is really you, what shoe fits you, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and look at a challenge you're going to face this month. Okay, yeah, so we have the shadow and we have unknown portal. So this is the Devil card. So I definitely think that this is a month where you may be worried about like survival fears or things like that. But you may also be faced with a lot of your shadows in other people. And you have the opportunity to choose how you respond to it. Especially if you're starting something new this month, you may be really afraid of what these new changes have in store. You may be afraid of how other people may perceive you. I think the biggest challenge this month is really going to be responding differently to issues and triggers that you may already be used to dealing with. But because there's so much shifting in terms of how you see yourself, in terms of how you go about life, how you want to go about life, how the ideal version of yourself would respond to things, it's like you have that challenge of, do I respond in a way that feels comfortable, or do I respond in a new way and see if there's a different way to solve these issues and these shadows that I'm facing? I also feel like you are going to be seeing your shadows in other people. So if you feel any intense feelings of judgment towards someone or shame towards someone, I would encourage you to look at that and see what part of them makes you feel that way, because you can learn a lot about yourself just based upon your preconceived notions around others. But I think because there's just a lot changing in terms of the unknown, with this last chapter being here and all of this rebirth, refreshing energy coming in, it's like your fear of the unknown or your fear or doubt of what's to come may make you want to kind of revert to old ways of being and ways of taking care of yourself that may not actually be taking care of yourself, more to like satiate and soothe yourself. And I think it's kind of up to you to see if you let these new challenges be something to help you empower the person that you're becoming, or will they be something that triggers you into past behaviors and past ways of self-soothing that maybe aren't the most aligned with your highest good. Now, it is important to know that even if you do that, there's no shame in that. You're human, you're just doing the best you can. But when you do find those moments where you revert back into maladaptive coping mechanisms, or coping mechanisms that you maybe don't feel like are aligned with you or really serve you, I would encourage you to pay attention to how you feel when you're using those coping mechanisms. What triggered you to use those coping mechanisms, and how do these coping mechanisms harm you in the long run? I feel like there's just a lot about you seeing things from a big picture, but then recognizing what little changes you can do in your physical reality to help support the overall big picture that you are entering. But what I really like about this here is I think that the challenge that you're facing is one that you're more than ready to handle. I do feel like in terms of this month, it might be frustrating sometimes. Like you might be feeling extra triggered or feeling like your shadow is really raging at times. And I think Spirit is saying, you know, while this may be a frustrating energy to overcome, it's kind of one of those big like boss monsters in video games. Like conquering this energy for the time being that it's presenting is going to set you up for so much future success. You're going to be glad that you actually went through this period of time, if that makes sense. Dropping things. Okay. Well, I guess what dropped was my lighter, and I do feel like this is almost kind of symbolic. Spirit's wanting to remind you that when you bring more light into your world, it casts a shadow. So you're gonna see more of your shadow. You're gonna see more parts of yourself that might make you uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean you need to shame or reject those parts of yourself. You just need to recognize that they are aspects of yourself and that they don't have to control you. They don't define you. It's just part of your multidimensionality as a being. You're going to have light sides, you're going to have shadow sides. You're going to have a whole wide array of energies to experience. And I think for you, it's a lot about how can I grow through this in a way that is most aligned with the person I'm becoming. But I also wanted to mention with the shadow card being here that if you've been dealing with a Capricorn, that energy might be significant in the upcoming month. There might be challenges with that connection that help you and this person grow. But let's look at what's going on in your external surroundings. So things that you can't necessarily control in the month of May, but that you should be aware of. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles, conservation and practicality, and we have pixie dust. Okay. So I definitely think that in this month, you're going to have to be more rigid with yourself. Maybe you're in the process of saving money right now. Maybe you're worried because you are doing some sort of big change, how it's going to affect you financially. I feel like that's something that you need to know. If you are making some big change in terms of your work, Spirit is saying that it will provide for you, it will support you, and that you are doing everything the right way. But maybe, for example, a lot of people in your life are having lots of fun or they're doing crazy things. I get this pixie dust as like kind of an energy of FOMO, where you're kind of having to conserve your energy, be practical, do things that are most aligned with you. I feel like there's a part of you that's going to be feeling like you're missing out, or feeling like other people are having more fun than you are, or that there's more to be had, or I feel like you're just going to be wanting more out of this month and it's not really going to be there. That, or people might be trying to get you out of your comfort zone or get you out and about and you just like have no desire for that. Or maybe it's not that you don't have any desire, but it's that you don't have the physical means to. So I feel like Spirit wants you to be aware that this is a month to be practical, because I think it is in alignment with your greater plan. But I feel like with the pixie dust card being here, you might be seeing the people around you having a lot of fun, and you might shame yourself and feel like, oh, you're so lame, like you're just being responsible, like being an adult. It's so lame and dumb. And I feel like you shouldn't say that to yourself. I think that this month is really for you about learning to find peace in the fact that you may not be at every soiree or celebration, but that doesn't mean that you're not being celebrated or you won't be celebrated. You can also celebrate yourself in little mundane ways as well. I feel like Spirit is saying, like, if you're feeling lonely or dealing with FOMO or things like that, think of cost-effective things like chilling with a friend, going to get coffee with them or something like that, where you can enjoy someone's energy or just enjoy being around others without having to like break the bank. I also feel like there's just a lot of there's this energy of like you're going to be feeling a certain way, but your environment's not going to reflect that. So like, let's say you're really tired and just want to rest, like everyone in your friend group or like the energy around you is going to be like, oh yeah, like let's party, and that's going to be really frustrating. Or vice versa, maybe you're like really wanting to have fun and go out and be silly and crazy, and like everyone else is going to be like, oh, I can't, like I got to save money, or you know, I've got this or I've got that, and that might be really frustrating. But I think that it's an energy that's inspiring you to rely on yourself more, in the sense that when your external reality isn't validating or satiating you, you're gonna have to kind of find solutions internally. And I feel like the universe is reminding you that you're never alone, but I think they want to remind you as well that this time period is very temporary. Even though you're so zoomed out, it's like the only time that you may feel kind of zoomed in is when you're maybe shaming yourself or thinking that you should be doing more or seeing more or achieving more. And what you need to understand is that this is a very like integral time period when it comes to your healing, when it comes to your evolution, and you don't need to be so hard on yourself. The best thing that you can do for yourself is literally just be kind to yourself during this process and remind yourself that tomorrow's another day. There will always be another time for fun or for play, but for right now, you're in this energy of more practicality, overcoming certain energies, that you are ready to be done with, things of that nature. So let's finish off with some guidance and some signs from spirit that they're around. So we have the King of Cups, yes, opportunity and creativity. And we have Twin Rose. Okay, wow. So, whew. There definitely is a lot of purpose for why this is happening right now. For some of you, okay, this is a very specific message, so take it with a grain of salt. If it resonates for you, you might be in this state of lull or this state of winter, because there's a lot blooming in the future. I do feel like if you're walking away from like a relationship or like a really intense friendship, I feel like there's reason for that, because there is someone in your future that you are going to connect with deeply. But I also feel like spirit is saying that it is there with you throughout this whole time period, throughout this whole process. With the King of Cups being here, is this the King of Cups? I don't even know. This is how I feel with decks like this. Like I don't even think this one has a guidebook, so I can't check. Let's just look through it. Okay, that's the King. So this is the Knight of Cups. Oh my God. Okay, this is the Knight of Cups. So I think Spirit's going to be communicating to you through opportunities. We've had the word opportunity come out here twice. And through your creative abilities. I also think there could be some romantic interest, or if that's a part of your life, or maybe it's not at all, and maybe it'll be a huge surprise to you. But with the Knight of Cups being clarified by this Twin Rose card, I feel like Spirit is going to be nudging you and leading you towards things that make your heart sing and that make you feel alive, that make you feel supported, that make you feel joyful. This is a weird message, so I hope that this comes out correctly, but Spirit is basically saying when it comes to knowing if you're on the right path or not, if your response to something is more apathetic or like gray or just like meh, it's probably not for you. But if it fills you with butterflies or like feelings of uncertainty, but also excitement, because sometimes excitement isn't necessarily an energy that means positive movement forward. But I think in this case, it's things that will make your heart sing or just make you feel excited, or almost just feel like a dog that can't contain its own happiness. I feel like Spirit is asking you to follow those signs, because I feel like you are being led right now either to someone who's very important to your journey, or led back. I hate saying this, and I'm not saying that this is happening this month, but there may be a greater purpose to the energies that you're working through right now, and it could have to do with somebody in your future or somebody that you're meant to collaborate and create with. But candles and roses are signs that your spirit guides are around, as well as glistening water that's just too pretty to be true. I guess any signs in here that feel significant, but Spirit is really saying follow your heart this month, show the world who you are through your heart, connect to the earth, because that's really where you're gonna feel truly connected to the earth and reminded that the universe loves you and is supporting you. I feel like it's gonna be hard to be in your heart space when you are having these kind of moments where you're kind of detached from your external reality and detached from the world around you. But I feel like there are things developing after these next few months where you're just going to be so happy for this time period, because you're learning a lot about yourself right now that's getting you ready for a new phase in your life where you're going to be so much more empowered. You're going to feel so much more like yourself. You're going to worry so much less about how others see you. I really feel like you're being ignited for some sort of like great journey, and I wish I knew what it was, but it's going to be different for all of you. But this is a really beautiful energy where Spirit is saying, we want you to be around what lights you up and what lights you up will light others up as well. It's like, it's kind of a what you're seeking is seeking you. It's almost like you need to continue following what feels right, even if it's hard. If it feels right, it probably is. And happiness is always a sign that you're on the right path. So I'm trying to decide, should we do charms first or should we do advice first? Let's do advice first and then we'll finish off with charms. So I'm just going to get you guys an oracle card if I can pull it out of the damn box. Yeah. And see what message Spirit has for you, and then we will finish off with charms. I can't stop clicking. Okay, so Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1 when it comes to the month of May, please? Okay, we have the Velvet Queen. Let's see what that says. Yeah. Oh, right, here we are. A rare prize is to be bestowed upon you. The universe is confirming that the most luscious dreams of your heart are being nurtured into manifestation. To this end, you shall be given a saving grace and intervention if need be. To open, to receive, surrender doubt in favor of unconditional trust. Through your trust and optimism, you make it easier for the universe to give you a most deserved gift. A rare prize is worth the effort to attain it. Your efforts will need to include loving discipline. Loving discipline is not about trying to bend the world according to your will, but rather about readying yourself to align with the spirit of what you want to receive. To receive, rather than attempt to take by force, requires strength, trust, and spiritual intelligence and courage. It's easier to try and force things from a fearful place, but it is more effective and empowering to learn how to attract and receive through consciously chosen surrender. This allows the universe to do its best work for you. To surrender is not about passivity, but doing all we can do and then trusting life enough to let go and allow the outcome to be what it will. Surrendering is not giving up. It's about trusting that there is great and generous intelligence expressing itself through our lives, and if open to it, great treasures are bestowed upon us. So the discipline spoken of here is about changing your consciousness. It asks you to release issues around self-worth. Why should you not be empowered and assisted by the universe to create a life that fills you with joy and feels just right for you? Of course you should, can, and will be. Release any lack of self-worth that would get in the way of your opening and complete trust in the universe. The Velvet Queen assists in shifting the mind from scarcity to prosperity consciousness, where we feel we can receive precious gifts with an easy, open attitude, neither holding on to them out of fear nor pushing them away out of shame or guilt. When she enters your life, she brings a sign of abundance headed your way. This might manifest itself in love and affection in your relationships, or as a sense of living in the rich fullness of life, spiritually as well as emotionally and materially. She also indicates a prize that is worth attaining. It is said that the sweetest fruit is at the top of the tree and therefore worth the climb. The Velvet Queen lets you know that your most prized dream is within reach through a combination of letting life unfold as it will and your own discipline efforts. Don't give up. You cannot make the fruit on the tree grow faster. That will happen according to the rhythm of life, but you can certainly do your part to be ready to climb the tree at the right moment to savor the sweetness of success. So I'm gonna zoom in on these. If you wanna screenshot the healing trick and the affirmation to do that, you are welcome to, but we're gonna move on into charms now. But I love this card because it essentially says everything that I was trying to say in a much more eloquent way than how I put it. I will give a headphone warning really quickly to my peeps that have headphones on. This may get a little loud, so I'm about to shake the shit out of this, so you might want to turn that down in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm shaking this now. Okay. So, Spirit, month of May 2022. What does pile 1 need to know? And what signs or syncs may be significant to them? That, and that is it. Okay, yeehaw. We got a few over here. Alrighty, so To start, we have the number 9, which 9 is a number of completion. So that's a great sign. We also, so 999 could be significant as well. It could be a sign that you are finishing out a cycle. We have the frog here. I always associate frogs with healing. So, and I got frogs on right now. So if you see frogs, that could be a sign that you're on the right path or that you're on the cusp of healing something. I also think that you may find that this month you're kind of, what's that game, Frogger? I don't know why. For some of you, maybe that's significant, but it's almost like you're dodging like problematic shit left and right, and it's a very empowering feeling is the vibe that I'm getting. We also have the Leo charm with generous, so any Leos in your life could be significant. We also have Pisces with intuitive, so trust your intuition when it comes to the people around you. Pisces person can be significant. We also have Scorpio, or no, this is Virgo. Sorry, we have 2 Virgo charms actually. So we have practical with Virgo. So Virgo could be important, or Virgo energy could be important. My North Node is in Virgo, and I hate it so much. Virgo stuff is so boring. No offense, Virgos, but maybe Pisces and Virgo are opposing one another. So maybe this is a month where you're working on practical things as well as intuitive spiritual things and understanding the difference. But we also have the Lantern. So I feel like Spirit is really saying that this month is an opportunity to see within yourself in ways that you haven't previously, or to see people, situations in a light that you haven't before. But I do feel like there will be more solitude in the sense that even if you're not, even if you're around people, I don't feel like everyone will necessarily be super understanding to where you're at, and or just where you're headed in life, or just the energy that you're in. I feel like you're gonna have people that have a hard time resonating with that. We also have this little guitar charm. So music could be important. Someone that plays music could be important. There could be messages for you in music, or specifically a song with a really good guitar part. You can tell I know a lot about music, can't you? We also have this little crab charm, so a Cancer could be significant, or this could be a sign that someone in your life may be a bit snippy with you, but there's something deeper to it, so that maybe you could explore that with them, or just recognize that it's not you, it's probably something deeper. But I think that there are pearls of wisdom when it comes to the energies that you're going to be dealing with this month that will be helpful in terms of helping you grow and evolve. We also have, I'm so bad at holding the charms. Clearly I need to work on how I talk to myself as well. Okay, well, we have is this $1? I can't even tell what this is. This is so sad. I'm a bad citizen of my country. I don't know, but it's got JFK on the front. I can't tell if this is a $50 or a full dollar. It's something though. It's currency. So I feel like Spirit is confirming that you will be getting abundance in a unique way this month. But you may not necessarily see how yet. So just trust and follow the wisdom of your own crazy heart. Your logical mind will not understand your heart sometimes, but that's not your heart's problem. Your mind just needs to learn to trust. But we also have the Sun here. So I do feel like clarity is coming. It may not come in this month, but it is coming. And I also think that there's a lot of light and a lot of joy to be shared even during these moments when you're kind of struggling with your own inner world and your outer experience. But yeah, the Sun could also relate to Leo, so a Leo person could be significant in that matter. And yeah, we have happy. So I feel like that's really what you should take from this video. If you're happy, you're on the right path. And if you're not happy, ask yourself what is in your immediate control to bring more happiness into your life. I mean, happiness is not a constant. I think at peace would be a better constant, but Spirit is saying you're following the direction of your happiness, and this month you may be letting go of things that require you to think about what is going to make you happy in the long term rather than satisfied in the present. So pile 1, I am going to leave this reading here. I know it was super disheveled and combobulated, but I hope it did the job. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, which is linked below. You can check out my social media, though do be aware there are tons of scammers impersonating me, so I do not offer personal readings, and I will never try to solicit a personal reading from you in your DMs. But yeah, that's all I have. So I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful May. Happy birthday to all of my May Tauruses and Geminis. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. If you guys chose the blue Chalcedony butterfly, this is going to be your reading for May 2022 predictions. So we're just going to go ahead and start by looking at some oracle cards to see the overall vibe of the month. You guys got 2 of these cards actually. So to start, we have a name that I can't pronounce. So we're going to just go with Mickey. Melchizedek, and we also have Hathor, which I honestly wouldn't put it past myself to pronounce that wrong too, but I'm doing my best. That's all I'll say. We also have the moon, and we have peachy paradise, enjoy the view in front of you, happiness, contentment, gratitude. I don't want this butterfly going anywhere. We also have you and your loved ones are safe in reverse. Don't worry, I will clarify that. We also have the rose oil scent, and the theme is compassion, and the trigger statement is I am unlovable, but the true statement is I am love. And it says, your heart is healing and expanding with love. Spend time showering yourself with that love and then sharing it with others. And then finally, we have I am knowledge. So you're 2 things this month. You are love and you are knowledge, which I have to say is kind of iconic for you. I really like this energy, especially because no matter what you're going through in your external reality, you're coming to peace with it, and you're going to be reaching a state in the month of May where you're learning to find peace in your reality, no matter what it looks like for you, and find gratitude for what you care about in your environment. Find gratitude for what brings you happiness and at this period of time. I also think that if you are into the occult or spiritual things, I do think that your spiritual, sorry, I burped like 70 times. I also think that your spiritual development or like your spiritual occult studies, you could be getting more into that. But on a broader perspective, because I don't think that everybody here is studying occulty things, though you should because it's fun. This could just be talking about that you may be, like, for example, if you're a student, you might have a more chaotic workload, or you might find yourself just being drawn to certain topics and studying them really intensely. This could be for some of you like a hyperfixation that you like just get really into for this upcoming month, but it ends up teaching you a lot about yourself and an interesting topic that you didn't know much about before. But I think the biggest thing that's happening this upcoming month is you are developing a more compassionate relationship with yourself, which is amazing. But it's coming through this process of having to regulate your nervous system and stay present and aware of when your emotional body, of when your emotional state is not in a place that is peaceful or comfortable for you, and learning how to take the information from that and use it to grow, but also find solutions to help you recenter your energy and peace in the present. With this, you and your loved ones are safe in reverse. I feel like there will be times this month where maybe you want to retreat more or just kind of want to go within and kind of be lost in your own little world. And you may have a sense of guilt for that because maybe you feel like you're more valuable when you're of use to others, or you worry that others will not be okay while you're gone. I mean, unless you have humans that literally rely on you for, well, humans are creatures, but I'm talking about humans. Unless you have humans that are like relying on you for survival, I think you're gonna be fine. But also, like, even then, I don't think that they're going to be wildly offended if you take some time to yourself. I mean, I don't know, if you have kids, just like put on Paw Patrol or something. Like, no offense, but kids are dumb. Like, they love anything. I'm just kidding. Kids are really smart. They're just kind of mean and honest. Anyway, with Moon being here, I definitely think that this is going to be a month where you're listening to your intuition more and you're kind of just following the flow of what your intuition is telling you and what your emotional body is telling you. If you're somebody who's not typically very emotional, this month might be wildly uncomfortable for you in the sense that you are going to be having more, I wouldn't say emotional outbursts, but just emotional experiences. Like, if you're somebody who's typically more turned off emotionally or even more apathetic, I feel like you are becoming more sensitive and your heart space is opening. And that is going to be an interesting experience for you, my friend, because you're not only going to be able to empathize with people who maybe have a more chaotic emotional body that they can't really ignore or turn off, but also you're going to recognize how you were kind of pushing away a part of the universal experience that it is to be a human by not allowing your emotional body to process the experiences that happen to you and the things that you go through. So I feel like if you are around people this month, in terms of like gatherings or celebrations, I feel like there's going to be an extra emphasis on not allowing yourself to be caught up in worries or fears during those moments, because I see that you have the ability to be very tapped in and just present to your current reality and find gratitude and enjoy that. But I do also feel like, for example, if you're at a family birthday or you're just around people you care about, you might be kind of getting into this like existential dread energy where you're thinking about the fact that, you know, life is not infinite and that we lose our loved ones at certain points or things like that. You might be getting overwhelmed by aspects of that, and I feel like Spirit is really asking you to stay present in those moments and cherish them, because while it is true that, like, yes, we all have our time here and it does expire, the best thing that you can do is embrace the time you have with the people that you love and care about, because those memories are forever. So I do feel like Spirit is saying that you may be a little bit hard on yourself this month. You may shame yourself a little bit for the emotions that you're experiencing, and Spirit's really encouraging you not to do that and to show yourself compassion when you do find yourself getting more emotional. And here's the thing, like, it's not like these crazy events are going to be happening. I mean, maybe we haven't gotten to the tarot yet, but I don't think anything too crazy is happening in your environment where for example, emotional confrontations are happening or something like that. I just feel like, for example, you might be watching a movie and find yourself crying at it when you typically wouldn't bat an eye or care, or you find yourself being more concerned about the people around you or what they're going through, or you just find that, like, something small, like the gas station being out of your favorite flavor of Red Bull, just like makes you a little bit sadder than it typically would. That's a really random example. I don't think that's going to be the case for a lot of you, but I really feel like this month is definitely a vibe of it is what you make of it, but there's this heavy emphasis on do not beat yourself up for what your soul is calling you to do or what you're feeling called to do. Do not shame yourself for making decisions solely because they will bring you more emotional peace. I actually think that's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. But I think one of the things is that when you're going through these more emotional points, I think that you're going to be releasing a lot of past pain that has nothing to do with what you're currently dealing with in your reality, but just things that you've suppressed. maybe for years, for very long stretches of time, maybe coming out in terms of random spurts of emotion, and you may not understand why. And so your guides are telling you now, like, if you find yourself crying for no reason, or you find yourself being emotional, don't beat yourself up or invalidate yourself or be like mean to yourself and be like, I'm just being a baby, like, I don't know why I'm crying like this. Like, just let yourself cry. Like, we wouldn't be given the ability to cry if it didn't serve a fucking function, and that function is to release emotion. And I think that a lot of pent-up emotion that never got the chance to be expressed in your past is finally going to express itself through random environmental triggers that allow it to come through. So, you know, for example, you might, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't want to cry, don't watch Marley and Me, because that movie traumatized me for life. And listen, if you watch that without crying, I'm concerned for you. So don't watch that. But like, things that you wouldn't anticipate making you emotional, I think could in the near future. And instead of shaming yourself for that, be open to the idea that there's value to be gained from those experiences. And I think what's really going to be beautiful about this is that once you get through the process of actually purging those emotions, you're filled up with space, empty space, that can be filled with positive experiences, positive emotions, ways of looking at yourself and ways of experiencing that you haven't had before. This is definitely like very good progress for you. And I think that when you're getting out this emotion, it will help you find more peace in the now. And I think you'll recognize that maybe a lot of your unknown stress has actually come from emotional experiences that have been wanting to leave your body for quite some time but haven't had a way to. So they've just kind of been plaguing you as this unknown sensation within you that you haven't been able to quite like put your finger on. But the cool thing about this is that you're gaining more emotional intelligence and becoming a more emotional being, and not in a sense that is negative, but in a sense that is positive. Like, every being should be emotional in their own sense, you know what I mean? Like, we have emotions for a reason, we should use them. But I think that this is leading you to a point where you're just going to be feeling really grateful for your present. I think you're going to celebrate the present for what it is. And I think that you're going to share in more joyful, emotional experiences with others. Sagittarius energy could be significant, because I just noticed the I Am Knowledge has a little Sagittarius sign there. We also have Cancer with the moon, so Cancer energy could be significant as well. But I think that this is going to be a really beautiful time for you where, you know, life is just getting richer. It's like you're almost like putting a saturation filter on it, but like for your emotions. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. It's a vibe. Okay, we're going to get into your tarot now. Oh, and I also wanted to mention we're doing charms today. So if you're one of those people that's like, Eso, when are you doing charms? Now, today, here, at this current address and this current locality and location, right to your home. Okay. I'm in an interesting energy today. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at a blessing that is happening this month. I already cut the deck into threes. Short-term memory, squirrel brain, go burr. Okay, one more shuffle. It's hard to shuffle circle cards. Okay, so I want to see what is a blessing that pile 2 is going to be experiencing in this month of May, in the year of our Lord, Hannah Montana. Month of May. Okay, blessing. All right, what's a challenge? Okay, this challenge came out real quick. What do they need to know about what's going to be in their external surroundings that they need to be aware of? It's the bullshit they can't control. And what's some guidance from spirit or some signs? Okay. We have two. We have two bad boys coming out. Okay. I'm going to clarify these with some oracle cards I just got, and yes, they're circles too, so prepare to see some tragic circle shuffling. Okay, so Spirit, what is a blessing that pile 2 is going to be experiencing this month, please? All right, what's a challenge they're going to be experiencing this month? Oh no, you're gonna have so much. Well, I guess we have to wait and see what I shouldn't have come to conclusions, but I think I know what that will be about. All right. What about their external surroundings? All right, perfect. And finally, what guidance and signs from Spirit should they be aware of? Okay, we got 2 again. Oh my God. Okay, wow, you got a lot of cards. You guys are very card friendly. Okay, so starting with your blessing, we have, ooh, hell yes, we have the 10 of Swords. So karmic lessons and only upwards. And we have rest. Oh my God. Okay, this is such a blessing. Yes. Okay, literally, here's what your blessing is this month. All right. Not only are you closing out old cycles, getting rid of old bullshit that doesn't need to be in your life anymore, but you're finally getting a break from all of the energy and residual energy that you've had to deal with going through these lessons and going through these experiences. The blessing is that your soul is resting, your brain is resting, like you're finally freeing things that have been stuck inside of you for a very, very, very long time. And for some of you, that might be like a medical thing, because the 10 of Swords can also talk about surgery. So for some of you, if you're like going into surgery or something like that, first of all, I want you to know that like everything's gonna be okay. I'm sending you love. I hate being in hospitals. They freak me out. But like, shout out to our healthcare workers. They, you guys are literally doing the Lord's work. But I feel like Spirit wants you to know that like this time will actually be really good for you, in the sense that you'll have the opportunity to just like unapologetically rest, and also, improving your medical situation, which I think is good, even though I don't know what that is. But for some of you, if surgery is involved, Spirit's saying like you're getting over that hump of difficulty and you're gonna have time to rest and recuperate. But even if this has nothing to do with your physical body, I think Spirit is saying whatever hardships you've been dealing with, whatever things you've been trying to heal, or patterns within yourself you're trying to heal, you're finally getting it. It's finally like translating into your reality, and you can finally just rest and not put so much focus on that. I feel like you're finally just, if you're somebody who's like very hyper aware all the time, I feel like this is going to be a month where you kind of learn to like relax and settle into your environment a little bit more, rather than be so hyper focused on making sure that you're safe and like not going into peril. Like, this is actually really good energy. I think this month is going to be an opportunity for you to honestly set like the energy for the summer or the winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. But let's go ahead and look at what challenge you'll be facing this month. So we have the Ace of Wands with ambition and willpower. And we have number 28 with bounty. Got a lot of stuff here. Okay, so I think the challenge actually is that you may be wanting to do more than you're actually either physically capable of or mentally and emotionally capable of. You may just be exhausted, or like I just said, have some sort of physical limitation that stops you from going after what you want this month, or going after what you are wanting to achieve. You might have a lot of creative inspiration, for example, but then not be able to translate it into anything. So they might just stay ideas in your head, and that might be frustrating. But I also think that you're going to be feeling really empowered and excited for the first time. And it's like, maybe it's like whatever's going on in your current life, there's something limiting you from your ability to take advantage of this energy. So I feel like one of your challenges is going to be using this energy to your benefit. Or I just got another interpretation. If you are going through this healing cycle, this period of rest, you may be wanting to feel more ambitious or get back up on your feet. And I think the universe is saying like, no, you have enough. Like, you can take time to rest. But I also think with this bounty card, like when it came out, before seeing this Ace of Wands, I really felt like this card was talking about the fact that you're going to have a lot to deal with internally this month, in the sense that things that you have kind of put away for a really long time may be coming to the surface, and it's like you may not know what to do with all of this emotion. And maybe that's it. Maybe this Ace of Wands too is just the fact that once these, I feel like for some of you, these are like mental struggles or mental stresses are falling away. You're being given this abundance of creativity, or this abundance of emotion, or this abundance of energy, and it's up to you what you do with it. So for example, if you're feeling really emotional, it could be a good opportunity for you to channel that into art of some kind that you create, or writing, or just making a really sad cake that reflects your feelings. I don't know. Channeling that into something that you feel brings you joy, brings you fulfillment. I feel like Spirit is saying one of your challenges may be dedicating your time wisely with the abundance around you. You know, you may have many different ways to channel your energy into something, and maybe you want to channel it in productive ways, but other ways may be more fun. I think it's honestly, the challenge for you is either going to be getting the emotion to get things done, or dealing with the energy that comes as you purge old emotions and go through this like emotional work. But honestly, this is a positive challenge. This is not a negative challenge to me by any means. I think if anything, Spirit is saying like you can rest, you can recuperate, you can give yourself time to just be a freaking human. You're a human being, not a human doing. And I think that this month you have the chance to just be. And I think that is a blessing, my dude. Okay, so let's look at what's going on in your external environment, your external surroundings. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords and the Heart Portal. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Okay. First of all, we have 2 sevens, so sevens are significant. Okay. I want a clarifier for this Seven of Swords because I'm not sure, but for some of you, I feel like this energy has literally nothing to do with you, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, which is gonna be really annoying, but I want to see, what is this? Can you clarify the Seven of Swords for me, please? Okay. Yeah, all right. You're fine. Okay. So, I feel like people... okay. This makes sense. Why you and your loved ones are safe in reverse. So, you're going to be taking this time for yourself, right? You're going to be in the moment. Well, I feel like for the people around you, things might be going to shit for them. And they might really want your expertise or your advice, and you just may not be available, or you may not have the energy to deal with that. And so I think Spirit is saying that you can trust your heart this month to tell you whether you have the emotional energy to take on certain things, whether it's worth your time. With the Heart Portal and the illumination as well, I also think you're going to be seeing through certain people and certain things in your environment that maybe are not very aligned with you anymore. I think you're going to be trusting your intuition more this month, and if there's anyone in your life that you feel like maybe just isn't in there for the right reasons, or maybe just doesn't have the best vibe about them, I feel like you're probably going to distance yourself from them a little bit. I feel like the biggest thing is that you're going to be seeing through a lot of things you were confused by or unsure of in the past, with this ability to step into your intuition more and trust your intuition more. But I think with the Heart Portal being here, if you are somebody that's used to being around people and not really sharing your emotions with them or things like that, you may kind of realize that these aren't supportive people to be around, and that as your heart awakens, you're going to want to be with people that can meet you at that emotional level and be able to not take on your emotional burden, but be able to hold space for you and your own emotions and not allow it to affect them. Like, I feel like you're reaching this point where you're able, which you may already be able to hold space for other people's emotions, but you may not have people that can hold space for yours. And so I think what you're doing right now is ascending in a way where people that can't hold space for you in a kind and compassionate way just don't really need to be around anymore, don't need to be a part of the picture. And so I think that you're going to become aware of people or experiences or certain groups that maybe just are not aligned with you anymore, or aligned with what is best for you. As your heart awakens, the truth of certain situations and people will awaken as well. Okay, so spiritual guidance. We got a lot coming there. Okay, we have the Two of Wands, independence and achievement. We have the Four of Wands with prosperity and harmony. We have Fairy Bridge, if the shoe fits, and Wish. And you know what? I'm just going to make this easy on myself and just read these cards. But for the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands, I feel like Spirit is saying that the work you're doing in your personal life is really helping you to get to a place of joy and harmony. But I think Spirit is also saying, don't belittle your own achievements and what you're doing. Take time to celebrate. Take time out to embrace life with where you're at, and embrace the people that are around you that you love. Embrace the people that you enjoy, and pay attention to any crystals that really feel right for you, that you feel drawn to, and try to have those around, or just channel the energy of that. One that I'm hearing is citrine, but I feel like you could really just be in this stage where you're learning to become comfortable with your own independence, and that you're recognizing that like achieving is yours, ascending is yours, finding happiness and harmony is yours. It's just about navigating it in your environment and allowing yourself to achieve that. A Spirit straight up told me, was just like, just read these. So I was like, okay, that makes it easier for me. This is the Pixie Oracle deck, by the way. Let me get the book out. So this is a new deck. So instead of me going through all of these, we're just gonna make it easier. Wishes do come true. Don't be shy about your desires now. You can dream bigger and wish bigger. So Spirit is clearly saying, this is awesome. Like, you can achieve what you want and be prosperous at it. So wish bigger, I guess. That's kind of iconic. I love that. Okay, let's see. We got 38 and 40. Wait. 38 in the book says a null, and 38 here is if the shoe fits. But I feel like this is more relevant to you. Oh, this is interesting. Spirit always does stuff like this. Okay, so I think that this is related to this karmic lessons thing. It says a null. This is more than an ending. The contract is not only voided, but is destroyed. The agreement does not hold enough value to exist in history, beyond done and finished. In relation to endings, the opinions or influence that held space before is now abolished. So you may be getting rid of a lot of things, or Spirit's getting rid of things for you that you don't need, and I think that is good. Okay. Well, here's if the shoe fits. Is something... Am I crazy? Okay, no, yeah, that says 38. If the shoe fits, if something quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. There are no smoke and mirrors here. All the facts are right in front of you. It's better to stray from optimism at the moment. Just take things for what they are, which I think that this High Priestess is definitely that energy. And the last card we have is Fairy Bridge. The Fairy Bridge presents an opportunity to live in the mystical world, leaving the more dense realities behind. It is a shift in perspective. Fairies love to play tricks and trip you up because they love to play. If you're feeling frustrated by the little things, lost keys, spilled coffee, parking tickets, try to shift your focus. So much of life is wild and big, so why think small? The fairies remind us to laugh off the little things. So if you feel connected to fairies, I think that's a sign that you may be seeing them in your reality, especially if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, because it's like spring and shit, you know? It's getting all outside, it's getting more tolerable to be in again. But before we go into charms, we are going to finish things off with a final piece of advice from Spirit. So I'm going to use the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild. But essentially, Spirit's guidance for you is what the book said, and also just believing in yourself and following this crazy ride we called life, and trusting yourself, because you are amazing and magical. Okay. So, Spirit, what final advice do you have for... Okay, we're not doing 70 trillion cards. One, please. We'll be here forever if we do that. And I like dinner. So, okay. We have Pixie, Piero. I think it's Pixie Piero. But, you know, this reading is just full of things I can't pronounce. Okay. 36. Okay. There is an original you. The you that has always been and will always be you. No matter how much... Oh, wait. Maybe I should move this so you can see it. No matter how much The outer forms of your body, your work, your lifestyle, or your world seem to change. The original essential you is always there within, unique, precious, and just as you were created to be. Within you is an intelligence that helps you adapt to various life circumstances and situations. You might do this consciously or unconsciously, but the point of adaptation is survival. The Pixie Piero card brings you a message. Oh my god, and we're using the Pixie deck. Love that. So much fairy energy. You are actually meant to thrive. This oracle reminds you that you thrive most fully, abundantly, and deliciously when you are just you. No version of you that another may prefer, nor the one that helps you fit into the crowd, but just you, as you have always been. Even if that doesn't seem like enough for some people, it's more than enough for you to have the life you deserve that would bring the most peace, happiness, and love. The oracle of Pixie P-word comes to you. It is time to get back to the essence of you. It might be time to go back to things you dreamed about in childhood, or something that feels like it expresses the true you, but you cast aside for some very logical and sensible reason or other. This might be a talent, passion, or lifestyle you are pursuing, or a deep-seated need to create or express yourself through art, clothing, music, or dance. It's time to reclaim it. From little dreams and childhood fantasies, a full-grown life purpose can blossom. Even if it seems fanciful rather than practical, don't drop the ball. Give yourself a chance to be and be seen, to live and thrive as the real you. You are you for good reason, not by error, oversight, or mistake. Love yourself and let yourself live, thrive, and express the original genius of you. I love that. I feel like that's what you're going through this month, and you're going to do a great job at it. Congratulations for being you. Okay, I'm going to... I don't know. Can you see this? Okay, so you can pause this and do like the healing trick on it. That is up to you. But we're going to go ahead and go into charms now. So I hope you screenshotted that. Okay, so I'm about to shake the charm bowl and it's going to be loud. So if you have headphones, turn it down in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to shake it now. Spirit, what is going on in Child Tuesday? Okay, we shook her good. All right. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes again, and we're going to do this again. Spirit, what signs, things does Pile 2 need to be aware of in the month of May? I'll dig. Let's... in there. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. I want to take these 2, and then we're done. Okay. So, I want to start with this little dinosaur guy, and this is what it is charm, because they came out kind of together. And I feel like this is kind of just reiterating that there will be a lot of deep acceptance for your past and learning how to integrate it or release. Oh my god, you got 2 dinosaurs. I love that. That's iconic. Okay. So I feel like you're releasing a lot from your past and just accepting it for what it is. I think you're coming to a great place of acceptance. But also, I think that, oh my god, we also have the teddy bear. So I definitely think you're doing a lot of inner child healing. You're doing a lot of just healing with your relationship with yourself, with your relationship with others, and recognizing what never was yours to worry about or burden yourself with in the first place. You really are reclaiming you and burying the parts of yourself that don't need to be here. We also have, okay, we have the, what is this? Okay, well, it's JFK. This is sad. This is my own country's currency. Okay, is it a $50 or a full dollar? That's the thing that I can't tell. It's a $50. Okay, so 5 could be significant, or Spirit could be saying, oh my god, that's one thing. Part of the reason why I don't do charms all the time is because I freaking can't hold on to them. But I think Spirit could be saying, 1, that abundance is coming into your life. We have 2 coins here. We also have Canadian money. Got a nice 25 center. So I do think abundance is coming into your life. The little moose guy, if he's a moose, could be significant as well. Yeah, I got those. So money coming into your life. We love that. We also have I love autumn. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, this current time period could be significant. Someone named Autumn could be significant. Or if you just think about this in terms of acorns, you could be planting seeds right now for really exciting things that are going to happen in your future. So that's really fun. We also have the drum set. So we have two music things actually. So music could be very important. Spirit could be saying that it could be communicating to you through like horns, like car horns or like sirens. Oh my God, if my fucking neighbors keep putting their trash onto my side of... Okay, sorry, that was me a little... I've been unhinged in this reading. All the cool people must be in this pile because I feel comfortable enough to be myself. But yeah, I just saw trash blow by, and it's totally from people that don't know how to pick up after themselves and be environmentally conscious. Anyway, I do think music will be important this month. And I think that specifically there will be songs that will like catch your attention, and then there will be messages in those. So be aware of that. But if you know anyone that plays the drums or the French horn, they could be significant. Or maybe a band of some kind is significant. We also have the angel here, which I love because that is just a sign that you are being watched over, you are being protected. You could be being watched over by Hathor or him. But yeah, this is just a sign of divine guidance, and we love that for you. We also have the Little Mermaid charm here. So this one makes me think of Pisces energy, but two, it also makes me think of kind of what you're doing right now, which is, or what you're going to be doing in the upcoming month, which is kind of going within, going into yourself. And when I think of mermaids, I think of like sirens. Which I was talking about sirens just a second ago. And with that, I feel like the things that you're meant to be aligned with, you're naturally going to feel called to. Like it's something kind of unmistakable. Like, you know how mermaids like lure sailors to their deaths, like with their siren call. Like I feel like you're going to be lured to the things that are most aligned with you, that are not they're not going to bring any sort of destruction like that to your life, but instead bring you more awareness of yourself and destruction to the parts of yourself that you no longer need to be the most actualized version of you. We also have the Leo charm with generous. So people could be generous with you this month, or like I said, you could be reaping some abundance, or a Leo person could be significant. We also have the number 3. So with that March energy, Pisces or Aries could be significant as well. But the number 3 could be significant. We also have a J and a U and a P. So Spirit's saying, yup, everything Asa said is on point. But I feel like this is also like the word up. Like we had, you know, only upwards. And I do think that things are getting better. I think you're ascending, you're evolving, and things are gonna be just fine. So pile 2. I am going to leave your reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for being patient with me as I live and read. If you would like to support me in this channel, I do want to thank the people that watch my ads, because that is the simplest and easiest way to support me in my channel. But you can also like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out my social media, though do be aware that there are tons of scammers pretending to be me. I do not offer personal readings, and I will not try to solicit a personal reading from you in your DMs. And I have merch, but that's all I have. So thank you so much for being here. Quick happy birthday to all of my May Tauruses and Geminians. Yeah, that's all I have. I hope May is awesome. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose this amethyst rose, love that that rhymes, this is going to be your predictions for the month of May 2022. So to start, we have Mary Magdalene, divine feminine, devotion, sacred sexuality. We have Aquarius with collaborate. We have Earth with the world keeps spinning, completion, fulfillment, success. We have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. We have clarity with the scent of lemon, and the trigger statement is I am so confused, and the true statement is I am present. Allow your mind to clear and let the noise of your thoughts fall away. Listen to your intuition. And we have I am forgiving. Wow, okay. So I have quite a few scenarios that I am just seeing right off the bat. For some of you, I feel like I have to say congratulations because you're either graduating or you're taking some big step, like some sort of big move. I feel so much excitement right now. So whatever's going on in your life is really, really awesome. And I feel like it's something you've been working towards for a while and just really ready to have happen. For some of you, I feel like you could be getting married or somebody significant in your life is getting married, which is really exciting. For others, you could be getting into a relationship this month. We'll kind of see if that comes through in the tarot cards, or you could be meeting someone very significant. That, or you're just powerfully changing yourself. But one big thing that I do see happening is that it's highly likely your environment is changing in some way, whether you're moving, whether you're renovating something, or changing your work environment, changing your friend environment, whatever it may be. You are growing and you are coming into a lot of change. And it may not be the change that you necessarily wanted, but you're going to realize it's the change that you needed. Not only that, I think there's a lot of exciting times this month, a lot of fun, and a lot of cycles closing out for you that are making way for this powerful new beginning. And I think a lot of this confusion actually is coming from this feeling like reaching this point, I think you're going to be in this energy where you feel like you thought you would feel different. If that makes sense. Like you've pictured this moment happening, like say, for example, you're graduating. Can't relate because I never got to walk in my ceremony because I graduated during COVID. But so for me, it doesn't even feel like I ever did. But for you, hopefully that's not the case. And if you are graduating, it's like you get that degree in your hands, or you go through the ceremony and you think you feel like you should feel more accomplished, but you don't really. And you're like, this doesn't feel as monumental as I thought it would, or I don't feel as complete as I thought I would, or something like that. And spirit, and no matter what your case is, you don't have to be graduating or something like that. No matter what the case is, spirit is saying to embrace the energies that are coming towards you. I feel like people are going to be a big theme in your month. With this like spinny ride here and all these people on it, I feel like there could be a lot of people coming in and out of your life during this time. It could be because your environment is changing, or because there's big events happening in the people around you, which is changing things. But with this collaborate card here, I definitely think you're meeting new people this month, or changing up who you associate with. I also feel like you're going to be challenged this month in a way that you haven't been in the past, where your own principles and things that you live by are going to be challenged by your experiences and your emotions, and you may have to actually redefine what it is you live by and believe. I feel like you are breaking through barriers when it comes to how you view yourself and the type of person you want to be, but the world is your oyster, and man, you're gonna make some pearls. That's all I can say. I also think that if you are dating, I think that this could be a very fun month for you. Let's just say that. Or you could just be feeling more confident in your own sexuality or in yourself. No matter what your biological sex is, your feminine energy this month is going to be highlighted. So I feel like you're going to be feeling more comfortable in your femininity, or being given opportunities to serve from a place of love, or to do things from a place of love, or to just be in your heart space more and be around people that you love. I also feel like you're going to be more unapologetic about doing the things that you love, and that includes people, like, which spirit made me say without even thinking about it. So yeah, some of you are getting hella late this month. But for others, this could be like if you are dating someone or you're talking to someone, you could be ascending to a higher level of commitment with them this month. It's like you're reaching some sort of threshold for success that you have been wanting to reach for some time. I think the difficult thing is that you're going to realize maybe how hard you were on yourself about getting to this point and realizing that it wasn't worth so much shame or stress on your part towards yourself. But I also feel like you're going to be feeling supported and enlightened by the people around you. And if you are undergoing some big change, like moving or something like that, you're going to be meeting more like-minded people, more people that feel aligned with the truth of who you are. With I am forgiving, there may be people from your past coming around where you may kind of bury the hatchet with them or just choose to close out that cycle or fully ascend beyond it. You are really like, you're coming through with like just the baddest of energies in the best of ways. Like it's not a bad in a bad way, it's bad in a good way. Like this is bad bitch energy 101, and pile 3, you are embodying it. So I don't care who you are, what you identify as, bad bitch is gender neutral on this channel. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the tarot because this is very straightforward and I feel like there will be a lot more answers in the cards. Oh, and by the way, for the people that miss charms, they're back today. So yeehaw, we're gonna do those at the end. All right, let's see. I want to get a blessing that is happening this month for you, Spirit pile 3. Blessings for the month of May. Okay, what is a challenge pile 3 will be facing? All right, what is changing in their external surroundings that they need to be aware of? And what guidance or signs from Spirit do they need to be aware of? Okay, all right, let's get some oracle cards now. Shuffling circle decks is harder than it looks, so judge me if you want, but unless you've had your hands on a circle deck, don't really think it's coming from a fair place. All right. So let's see, Spirit, blessing for pile 3 in this month. Okay, we got 2. There's a blessing. Ah, haha. What is a blessing for, or no, not blessing. That was a challenge. This, and me speaking was also a challenge. External surroundings. Spirit, what's going on in pile 3's external world? Finally, what guidance and signs from a Spirit should they be aware of? Okay, let's start with blessings. Okay. Ooh, so we have the Hierophant, and we have hibernation and mirrors. Okay. So if you've been in a long hibernation, I think that this is something that you're coming out of. But for others, it's like part of this powerful change, even if it's not a big event in your life, is you're changing on a physical, fundamental level where you are dedicating yourself to something bigger than yourself. With this spirituality and knowledge card being here, I feel like your entire environment and the way you perceive it is going to be so different than the version of you from 2 years ago would see it. There's a greater purpose to your actions. There's a greater purpose to why you're doing the things that you're doing. And I think that there's going to be parts of you that are reawakened, and you're going to recognize, if you're somebody who typically feels very isolated from the outside world or just feels like people don't understand you, this is going to be a month, especially if you are integrating into new environments, where you're meeting people that reflect parts of you back, and you're going to feel a bigger sense of camaraderie, and you're going to realize that the world is not as cold and lonely as it feels sometimes, that there are people that you resonate with, and that you are just as human as everyone else, that you are one and the same, and that as humans we're not much different. But I also think that you're going to have opportunities this month where things that would have triggered you in the past or upset you in the past are not going to faze you, and you're going to realize how much growth and evolution you've actually done, because you're going to be like, holy shit, like look at me, like I'm pile 3 and I'm not being triggered by that, or I'm completely unbothered by that. Like, wow, so ascended, so evolved, much spiritual. But this is a really awesome energy because I also think that if your love life has been kind of like not great, you could be meeting someone that sparks that passion, or you could just be like getting out there, playing in the field, doing whatever your little heart pleases, and that could be very fun. I feel like it'll help you grow closer to yourself. If you have a specific person in mind, I do feel like you're getting closer to them this month, and a lot of like aspects of you and them are going to be mirroring. Not only that, with the spirituality card being here, I feel like you're attracting more spiritual people into your life. People with Taurus energy as well, which May is also a huge Taurus month. Typically, I'd say this to the end, but big happy birthday to my Taurus and Gemini May birthdays. But yeah, I feel like this is really just an energy where you're feeling blessed in what's being reflected around you, and you're recognizing the value of the time you took to yourself to just kind of hide away from the world. I also feel like with this spirituality card, you're just getting closer to yourself, and you're trusting the universe more, you're trusting the process more, and I think you're gonna like a lot of what is being reflected to you in your environment, and what you don't like that's being reflected to you in your environment, rather than you being reactive to it, you're using it as a tool to... Spirit wants me to use the word cope, but I think it's more a tool to empower yourself, or a tool to become more aware of the things in your environment that make you reactive. Okay, let's look at a challenge. We have the devil coming out again, and we have lucky. Woo, okay. What's that song? Like, she's up all night to get lucky. I don't know. Is that the guys with the robot heads? I can't remember their name. I'm gonna get roasted for that. What's their name? So that people don't yell at me. I don't know. I don't care. Okay? Fuck. Anyway, with the shadow card being here, I feel like with all these powerful changes, with more light comes more shadow. Am I right? You're more aware of the parts of yourself that maybe you judge or you shame or you feel like shouldn't be a part of you. With the lucky card being here, I feel like a lot of the things that you've been trying to attract, but the universe has been denying to you because either you know they're not good for you, or you know that they're not getting you to where you ultimately want to be, you will be attracting. And you have the opportunity to either reject these things or allow them to come into your space. And if you do, you have to forgive yourself for it, you know? Because it's a learning experience and you'll grow. But I feel like you are really being faced with your shadows this month, where you're having to really recognize where your own actions and behaviors are maybe holding you back from opportunities. But I also think, maybe opportunities will be coming to you, and because you've been dealing with certain shadow aspects, you won't feel ready to take them. So I feel like Spirit is saying, if you have fear about taking opportunities, go for it. If it feels right, don't hold yourself back out of fear. I think the biggest challenge is going to be embracing all these changes and not allowing the parts of yourself that feel unsafe about doing that control the show and stop you from being more out there and being more you. And what's actually really interesting with this lucky card, it really kind of looks similar to this Aquarius card. So an Aquarius person could be significant as well. Maybe that's you. Shout out to my Aquarians. I feel like people are going to be bringing you opportunities or bringing you experiences to be able to look at your own shadow. And there may be parts of yourself that you judge in other people, or that you just judge in general, that are going to be reflected to you, and you're going to have the opportunity to kind of explore why those things bother you. Why do you judge those people? Like, what part of them is reflected in you that you don't like, or shit like that. But there's also this vibe where one thing I think you're going to be fighting, honestly, is a negative attitude, and it's going to be your own. And I think you're going to have this fear that nothing's going to go right, or everything's going to go to shit, or something like that. And things are just going to be going your way, and you're just going to feel like it's too good to be true. And I feel like Spirit is really encouraging you to receive this month. You can receive. You deserve this. The universe is trying to give you things. Just be empowered when it comes to receiving them, and recognize that you deserve them. Don't shame yourself for having good things. Okay, so now, what about what's happening in your external environment? I'm excited for this one. Nine of Pentacles and exploration. Yup. Yup. Okay. So I definitely think that things are changing a lot. I feel like one thing that is changing is that if for some of you, this powerful change may be that like you are crossing some threshold, like canceling out some sort of debt or reaching a point in your financial stability where you can like actually start to do things that you want and do things that excite you. So Spirit is really saying, take this opportunity to like have fun and do new things and treat yourself and give yourself the opportunity to go out of your comfort zone. I also feel like Spirit is going to be showering you with opportunities to try things differently, to try new things. I feel like you're attracting so much. And I think you're also attracting people that are on your level in the sense that they're in the same mindset as you. They want the same things out of life as you. And I feel like this is honestly your time to just be empowered and call the shots. The interesting thing about your external surroundings is that it's a lot more about you than it is your external reality. You really are the magician right now. Like you really have the ability to cultivate whatever you want. You have the means, you have the knowledge, the skill, the know-how to bring about whatever you want. And I think Spirit is saying that they really want you to utilize this time to just kind of explore and have adventures. I also noticed, 33 is a master number, but also in numerology that would reduce to 6. But in regular math, I'm actually changing things up for once. 3 times 3 is 9, and we have a 9 here. So 9s or 3s, repeating 3s could be significant. But I do think that you're ascending and allowing yourself to explore, and opportunities to explore are going to be coming up. And I think it's just going to be very eye-opening for you. I think you're going to be feeling grateful for where you've come. You're going to be grateful for the past versions of yourself that have brought you to this point. I will say you have the most major arcana so far out of anyone. So I do think that there are powerful changes coming your way. Okay, so guidance and signs from Spirit. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is interesting. And we have rumination. Okay. So mirrors are actually important. Mirrors are an important sign because when you get caught up in rumination, Spirit wants you to look in a mirror and be like, how much of this actually matters? Or like when you catch yourself being by a mirror, say nice things to yourself, even if you don't believe it. Or it could be neutral. It could be like, you don't look bad today, or you're doing just fine, buddy. Like some of those are like my favorite affirmations. Cause like, I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, you're the most like baddest, beautiful queen ever. Like I don't resonate with that. But like, I can look in the mirror and be like, hey, you're not doing too bad today. And there are definitely people that have done worse things than you have today. And, affirmations like that are my shit. And I think that you could utilize those. I think Spirit is really saying that this time with all these changes is an opportunity to reflect on your past and what parts of your past that you don't want to bring into your present. If you have a child in your life, whether it be yours, hopefully not one you kidnapped, but just a friend's or family members, hang out with them or pay attention to them and how they live, because I think that you're kind of shifting into this energy to kind of allow your inner child to come out more and have more fun. But I think Spirit is saying one of the biggest things that can stop you from being present and from enjoying this time period in your life is fear, is rumination, is your brain kind of running away from you. So that's when you want to take time to come back down and be present. And I think Spirit is saying one of the best ways for you to be present is to go out in nature, whatever kind of nature is around you, and just kind of be in that presence. Nature is a great expression of divine feminine energy. It can be rough, it can be brutal, but it's also very beautiful. It's very sustainable, life-bringing. It's quite nice. And so I think Spirit is saying, if you really need guidance or you really just need to feel like you're coming back to center, nature is the way to go, and to pay attention what's being mirrored back to you in your reality, because that holds more answers than you realize. So before we get into charms, I am going to get a final little snippet of advice from Spirit. Okay. Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 3 in the month of May? What would you like to leave them off with? Ah, we have Princess Victorious. I love that. It just makes me think of, obviously the show Victorious, but Trina, when she does her little Chicago bit, her little self-written play. I just love it. It's so iconic. Okay, so let's read it. You are being asked to be a big picture person for the moment. Sometimes immediate gratification has to give way for a grander scheme unfolding, which will ultimately lead you to far greater and more meaningful success. What seems to be a delay, obstacle, loss, or even failure now is a twist in the plot of your life necessary for your gracious destiny to unfold according to a higher plan. It can be hard to keep the faith when you've been defeated just one too many times. It's easy to make fear and doubt mean something when they don't. It's usually like being doomed to fail, so you might as well give up. However, fear and doubt are just symptoms of fatigue. They are signs that we are feeling battle weary when it comes to life. To overcome weariness and create happiness, you are instead being asked to temporarily surrender your need to win, just for now. Instead, you are being guided to step back, regroup, replenish, and be kind to yourself. And know this: sometimes you have to be willing to lose the battle to win the war. That means being willing to go through things like that in the short term that seem like failure without losing confidence, courage, and trust that everything is going to go your way in the long term. The Oracle of Princess Victorious encourages you to know that you are strong, determined, and determined enough to bounce back and overcome difficult circumstances. You will be given the power to succeed at the right time in the best way for all concerned. For now, an apparent delay, failure, loss, or change of course is really a saving grace. In time, with a broader perspective, you'll look back and be grateful for not getting what you thought you wanted in the way you thought you wanted it, because what will come to you will eventually be so superior in every way. So give in to how your journey is unfolding, even if it seems like you are losing hope when you'd rather be winning. But don't give up hope. Trust that the universe is strategic. It is helping you to succeed. It knows that the things that don't work out now can help you move towards the things that will work out for you in the long term. If you need a sign to know that things are going to work out for the best, even if it seems like they are falling apart along the way, then this is it. Okay, so there's a healing trick. So if you want to like screenshot that and hold on to that, you can. I think it translates to the other page. So yeah, if you want to screenshot that and do the little healing thing, that is up to you. But we're going to move on to charms now and see if there's any little extra tidbits that Spirit wants to talk about or any signs or things you need to be aware of. So I'm about to shake this. So if you have headphones, you might want to turn them down. And you've got like 3 seconds to do it. So 3, 2, 1, I'm going to shake it now. Okay, so Spirit, what will pile 3 be experiencing in the month of May? Something hurt my nail. Okay, that works for me. Except I think these 2 are meant for you. Okay, yay! All right. So, oh my God, these 2 charms have come out for every single person. I think I'm getting rid of this $50. First of all, I can't even read you. And also, like, no offense, JFK, you're kind of gross. But we're going to keep this here because, oh my gosh, this is actually really interesting. If you felt drawn to any of the other piles, there may be messages for you in those other piles because there are some repeating charms and repeating cards in this pile. But I do think abundance is coming your way, no matter where you live. You don't have to live in Canada or the United States. I just only have currency from so many places. But I also think elks or whatever is on that could be significant. I do think that this is just a sign of abundance. With the ring being here, I definitely feel like something is coming full circle for you in a way where you're ending a cycle or you're starting something new. Or you could be meeting someone or just ascending to a higher level of commitment with someone. With this ring card being here, something eternal and everlasting is being upgraded this month or entering your life this month or creating blessings this month. I also feel like emotional release will be happening that gives way for more empowerment. I always just view this as the teardrop card, and it kind of looks the same as this in Princess Victorious. But I think really this for you is like releasing, moving forward, moving on, starting fresh. I think that this is just a really good sign that things are going to be getting better. With the teddy bear here, I do think that there's going to be some inner child healing happening. I also feel like Spirit is encouraging you to do things that help you tap into your inner child so that you can just kind of feel more connected to that part of yourself, because it's your inner child that's going to lead you to like the wildest adventures and the most fun shit you could ever imagine. We also have this little red guy. And so I would take this as being more grounded in your present reality. I think of it as the root chakra, but there's also a lot of powerful reds in your spread. So red could just be a significant color, or maybe a color that you'll feel more called to wear in the near future, or just have more red things. But yeah, I would also say that maybe, you know, a lot is changing in your physical reality. You're going to be more grounded in certain ways, or when you're feeling overwhelmed by your reality, that's when you're going to want to ground. The letter J could be significant, so just take that as that resonates. And we have two monkeys here. So, ooh, you could be finding someone who's like really similar to your energy, and you guys could just be two monkeys. Oh, that analogy, I'm not going to finish that analogy. But I also think on a realer level, like these two monkeys have totally different energies. Like this monkey is really like, hey, like where's the nearest tree? I want to swing. I want to go crazy. I want to have fun. And this monkey is just like, nah, like I've been there, done that. Like I just want to chill, right? And I always think of these guys as representing like your monkey mind. So I think that Spirit is telling you that you can either allow your mind to rule you this month, or you can tell it to take a back seat and allow you to be at peace for just a freaking little bit, because you deserve that. But also Spirit is saying pay attention to when your mind is running from you, because you do have the option to go back to peace. But I also think that you're bringing people into your environment that are going to be fun and that are going to bring out your inner child, and just, I don't know, I just think they're going to have good vibes. So bears, monkeys could be significant, as well as elephants. And I always take elephants as not only are you gaining wisdom and maturing, but you're overcoming obstacles, and who doesn't love that? And finally, we just have this little angel. And I think that is a sign that you are being watched over, you are being protected, you are being guided, and Spirit is here for you. Spirit loves you, you are being protected, and you know what? You are just going to be going onward to bigger and better things. And I think that this is going to be a really good month for you, Pile 3. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or letting them play in the background while you do something else. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, if you like this video, you can comment down below. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and you can like this video if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my social media, which will be linked below, though do be aware there's tons of scammers pretending to be me. And yeah, I don't offer personal readings. So if someone comes to you and says that they're me and they're offering you a personal reading, they're a liar. And I have merch, but that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!